Greetings. Visit our website today and experience a whole new world of Singer, your trusted online family company.
99.9, the heart and soul of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is 9:24 here, and you're listening to Ari and Roleza, and we're Activated Mornings this morning. Now, this is our open forum, or Talk to Me If You May, where we accept your calls, questions, queries, and we comment on whatever it is that you want to talk about. And if it is that you don't have anything you want to talk about, we have a topic ready for you. No, we already have a call. The number to call is 457-9997. Also, the number to WhatsApp where you can call is 457-9997. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning. As usual, I love to make my input here.
It's Price this morning, boy. Like, yes, good morning. Let's go.
You don't eat, Dave? You don't eat breakfast? We ain't eat yet enough.
Somebody trying to stop me?
Nah, go straight into it, Dave.
Roleza, I don't know why people having problem calling your name.
Come tell me, it's only three syllables. It's only three syllables. But go ahead.
Right. Anyhow, I just mentioned that because I hear that keep coming up time and time again. I wish it's only I alone could call. I wish it's only I alone could call the name properly. Anyhow, you know.
All right.
So let me commend you guys for the issues that you were dealing with this morning. At one time, I thought you guys are experts on American politics. But let me say this: how could a man like Trump be still accepted to run for president? I mean, you know, is this guy so love or what it is? What it is? But I don't even want to talk about that. A man who has committed so much, you know, atrocities, I would say. Well, he of all the leaders, maybe, well, at the top, where all leaders are concerned, has shown that he has no respect for women. Huh? And he has gotten away with that. And then one of you mentioned something about, somebody mentioned, we have our own problems here, where the same thing is concerned, where those guys in high office believe they have the right to, you know, to hold on to any innocent girl and do what the heck they want to do.
What are these guys, Dave?
But we are not a society where where our young girls or women are prepared to come forward and say, we saw what happened here with that police officer. And we must not be afraid to talk about these things. Because even though we are not on the world stage, although some of us say we are on the world stage, these things, the same worthless or whatever behavior we can talk about in America, and so it's happening here. And you see, that's why my voice has to be heard. Because I am too aware, I'm too conscious, you know. I am not the brightest person in the country, but I know what is going on. But you see, influence, and according to the now, if you want to go and tie up yourself, if any young woman wants to go and tie up herself with somebody in high office, where she gets and where she has protect. I don't know if you want to go and make yourself a pocket show or
it's still
whatever.
It's still to the extent of what you're talking about, Dave.
But Dave, I have a question when Roleza's finished.
It's one thing if you want to tie up yourself in terms of being involved with this person in a sexual situation. However, even if, let's say, you're tying up yourself with someone sexually, doesn't give anybody the right to violate you. Remember, everything still has to go back to consent.
Doesn't give anyone the right to what?
To violate you, because everything still has to go back to consent. Right?
Yeah, well, I agree with that. But we are so intimidated, or these people create so much fear in us that we prefer to let it go, let it pass. Or anyhow. Yeah. What the other question is?
who are these people in society that you mentioned earlier?
Right?
Why are you like this?
Why am I like what? Who are these people in society? You said that persons tend to women tend to put themselves in situation with certain people in society. Who are these people?
Well, I'm not hearing you too well. You're going and coming like. I hear Roleza very well, but I'm not hearing you so well with your questions.
I want to know what's going on with my question.
No. Say it with your
Dave,
chest.
you said that there are members in the society that women put themselves with, and they end up in certain situation. I don't remember the exact term you used. I think you were like officials. Was it officials? I don't remember, but I'm asking you, who are the people that you're referring to?
From those who we consider to be our officials then.
Also, like the politicians? Is it the politicians?
Well, the politicians are the leaders in the country.
Okay, so which politicians are they in the government or are they in the opposition?
Dave, could you, maybe if you haven't had your breakfast as yet, could you have your breakfast and continue to listen to us?
Why not? Why you say that?
No, because Ari trying to.
Dave said so.
I know you know better than to let Ari draw you out. So yeah.
He drawing me out? If he called in and he made a comment, I want to know exactly so we can get to the bottom of this and stop it happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Why are you so traction?
Traction is a word. Let me
Traction is a word. In Vinci, it is a word. Okay.
What do you guys? I love you guys for how you all bring in certain topics or issues on the front burner, and I think you're the best in the morning for dealing with that. And all we need is just to be careful not to slip up with anything where you lost, where libel is concerned. Because I'm very mindful of that too. Because some people, when they are being or if they feel guilty of certain things, they are ready to take revenge, especially the legal mind. That's my concern for you guys.
Thank you, Dave. And I very much understand that position more than anyone else.
Sometimes you need a reminder too.
Yes.
Keep the program going, man. Bring the news.
Thank you very much, Dave.
You all give me new hope, I just hope you all could be politically correct if you all choose to make that step into the political arena.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's a different topic altogether. Thanks, Dave.
That's one arena I ain't gonna step in. I am good. I am great.
Nah, I just always say, could give me a ministry to run, I would run the ministry. I have no problem with that. But to become a politician, I just come about national development.
You can't run a ministry and nothing.
No, so this is my thing, is that I do not want to be a minister of government, but I can run a ministry, right? I like not having to go to everybody's funeral, not having to stand for everybody's godchild. And I also do not want to have to be walking with $5 bills for when person say, give me a small change, So I am not one of those persons.
Just want to wish Joshua's brother William a happy birthday today. Happy birthday, William.
Why are we seeing food?
Joshua asks, what is wrong with Trump? He did not play pocket pool. Joshua also asks, what is traction?
Traction is somebody who is deliberately miserable, troublesome. Troublesome really is what the word is. Troublesome.
Okay, now this is why I was telling you off air. On the topic of homelessness, we might not get to really.
But I want to talk about it. Okay, we're gonna save it for Thursday.
We could always save it, or we could go through this quickly. And no, I don't think that gives it justice because it's a serious topic.
Go ahead.
But you do realize that the man's father was charged for not renting to black people and ongoing practice. And yes, that is true. right? And then he sends a story here, no vacancy for blacks, how Donald Trump got his start and was first accused of bias. No, I don't think that racism is hereditary, because although you need power to be a racist, we do have certain prejudice that our mothers, grandmothers, fathers, grandparents, our great grandparents would have. Because I'm sure you remember a time when they would be like, "Don't bring no white people in my house." No, while
it might have been, "Don't bring no black person in my house" as well, if they're trying to up the color. Right, let's continue.
Thank you very much, Roleza. Thank you very much, Roleza. So then, if it is that that's how you felt over the years, and we do know that there's certain ethnicities here in St. Vincent and Grenadines that believe in keeping a pure bloodline. You would know that they will only want certain people of their own ethnicity in their families and blah 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 blah, or even persons with certain last names or certain status they would want in their families. If it is that this is how it was before, and then you and I come from one of those families, and we decide that we want a position of office, whether it might not be our personal view, does that mean that we are automatically racist?
So you use the word hereditary, which is interesting. I would not necessarily use the word hereditary because, of course, it's not going to pass down through your genes. What it is for me is that it passes down through primary socialization, right? Because if my father keeps going around and saying black man this, black man that, right? Whether or not I am aware of it, I may have a way of viewing black men as being in the negative, right? It doesn't mean that necessarily it is right or it is wrong. More than likely it is wrong. But the thing of it is, because I've been exposed to it, and it's the same like the media. It's exactly the same like the media. Because you have been constantly bombarded with it. It takes, again, a strong person to maybe stand up for themselves, to be able to see behind maybe the prejudices that your parents may have brought with you. Back in the day, there are parents who may have looked at their child being darker skinned or having the 4C hair type, and saying that they want, especially for the daughters, to marry a man of color because they want their grandchildren to come out with a particular skin tone, a particular hair texture, right? Now, the thing of it is that we hate ennui.
A lot.
Right? We hate ennui. And while it is that maybe some parents are not even conscious of it, they pass this on to their children. And it takes a strong child, a thinking child, a child to realize that what you've been telling me is wrong all of these years, to stand up to the parents. But remember that not a lot of persons, especially when you're young, you're not going to stand up to your parents because what your parents tell you is gospel. It takes you becoming an adult. And it doesn't even happen with all adults. You have to admit that there are some adults who still believe that the spoken word by the parents is gospel. But it takes, maybe being exposed to different cultures, maybe interacting with other persons, because, it could have, like, I'm thinking of cases where a parent may be so against homosexuality, right? Against lesbian relationships, etc. Now, they are steadfast and adamant in their position. But me having been exposed to, let's say, a working environment where homosexuals are present, gays and lesbians, it doesn't bother me one bit. Because as long as you're not making a move on me, we good. You will go to God with your sins. I am going to God with my sins. Right? So it takes a strong child to have to stand up and to move on. But I do recognize that primary socialization is key in terms of shaping how many persons turn out later on in life.
Sorry. So one person here said on WhatsApp that one resident refused to rent to them, and the landlord's words were, "Me no want no breadfruit and more be people in my place. She does not know me."
So she looked at you and she made an assumption that you can't afford.
That adds to, I don't even think it's just can't afford. I think that's one layer, and I do think it's another layer of genuine self-hate. Do you know that in New York, and I could only speak for New York, that a lot of the Caribbean landladies or landlords, they are very harsh on their Caribbean tenants. They quicker give Americans a easy time, or especially white Americans an easy time, but they will come down hard on persons you know from your country trying to make a way for themselves, trying to elevate themselves, they tend to give them a very difficult time. I know of many situations of that happening. And why? Why is that? Again, we hate we.
To look at this on another side, though, could it be a case where they may have been taken advantage a lot because of that familiarity in terms of us coming from the same space? So you don't pay your rent this month, you're asking me for a blight. And how long is the blight supposed to go on for? You know, so it could be also from that angle as well, too. Hi, caller, morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. You all always hit a subject that I always have to come and answer to it.
Okay.
No, we're not. Well, the last time, 2 weeks ago, I picked up a friend of mine from Annisville. So, not Annisville, Argyle. And on my way to town, when we got into Kingston, he said, but look at Damascus. I said, hey, it's named Kingston. Stop it. It's not Damascus. Right? Okay. Now you see how people have head, especially them who live in America. Guys, I lived in South Africa since 1994, but I left St. Vincent in 1980. So I've been under the racism system for a long time, including saying to you, the lady inside the lady there, Ari, including saying to you.
Roleza.
Hold up.
Roleza is the lady.
Sorry. Ari is the guy, right?
Yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
no
ahead.
disrespect.
No, I can tell it's a mistake. Go ahead.
Well, so many subjects that you touched on. When I started living in Canada from 1988, I lived in a duplex. So my landlord was Greek. But so happened that all around 89, his daughter fell in like with me. And we had to carry on a relationship for almost, fell in like,
It's interesting.
We had to carry. No, because them days, black man feel powerful, when another white lady come around and thing, you know how it go.
Okay.
Right. But anyway, right. But this lady got pregnant for me. And I only knew about it after she had to do what she had to do. When I asked her what happened, she said she could not keep the child because she would lose her inheritance.
Oh, wow.
You understand how, yes, you understand how deep. So we had a hide relationship. We couldn't let the father or the mother know that she's seen
South
a black
Africa?
man. No, this one is in Montreal now.
Okay.
Montreal. Because Montreal is full of immigrants, huh? It's a city built on immigrants, Italians, Greeks, this, that, etc. Now coming back home now, we have seen attempts, especially by the marijuana investors in this country. They're coming with an agenda, but what they didn't realize is that they would meet up uneducated people here who lived in their system and could read them from what they're coming with. Did you know that they attempted to stamp out the traditional Vinci marijuana the other day? And the two persons who were trying to do it get their work permit taken away, and they have been thrown out of St. Vincent. I'm not going into much details. I'm just giving you the heights. Now, hear what? They almost get through, They almost get through, but we were on it. Hear what they were doing. Taking the medical marijuana, which is not grown in the Vincentian soil. It is grown in potting soil, what they bring. Now, it's very easy to control St. Vincent with that. You just take it, you carry it, and it mash up the market. It did almost mash up the market. Because what they want to do is to destroy and get rid of the Vinci traditional marijuana and allow the medical marijuana to run the gauntlet in St. Vincent. So when next, say 6-8 months, a year, when you look at no Vinci marijuana around, well, that cannot happen. Because what they didn't realize is that we have a seed bank here from 1971. So we are up on it on what they're coming. So all of this involves a bit of what you call neocolonialism. Now let's go further. There was an argument in a certain shop last week in Annisville, and a man who does work at the hospital who went to study in Jamaica and USA. I would not give the particular thing. He's not a doctor though. But they have to call him all the time when things needed to be done or wrong, like fixing, etc., etc., etc. The man is upset because he spent more than 30 years in government and he's retiring in the next few months. He's just getting his papers together. You know why the man retiring? He's retiring because he can't understand how a man could come from Cuba and getting $10,000 a month and he only just getting a little $2,000 and he did it 30 years. And they still have to call the local man, to come and show the Cuban what's going on because the Cuban is lost. Not saying that they're not trained.
Excuse me.
The next thing now leading to neocolonialism, we pointed out a nurse, a short nurse that lives in Green Hill. You know where Green Hill is, guys, obviously, right? And you know the walk from Green Hill to the hospital is about 22 kilometers. There is a nurse, a lady, probably in her 50s, used to make that walk from Green Hill on a Sunday. And we went to the hospital and we asked, you're driving around the Cubans, them in air condition, you're dropping them home, you're carrying them home. But this poor nurse who living in Green Hill, all body just pick she up on the road. Whenever she will get a ride. But most of the time, she walk in on a Sunday to go to work. Look after those people too. Because when people see that, they will come with the sort of conversation you're having on the radio, but you may not be able to spell out everything. So what my thing is this morning, stop letting these people coming here and just walk over us. Here the thing with Sandals. Me and vex with Sandals, you know. I can't vex with Sandals because tourism is my life. I make enough out of that. But here my thing with Sandals is, why don't you treat the Vincentian taxi drivers and the Vincentians who dealing with wrong the tourism area like how you would in Barbados, because you cannot get away in Barbados. First of all, Sandals built a place down there. Where is the local taxi stand? Most of you who on this radio now this morning have been to Barbados. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, most of you have been there. When you walk out of the hotel, who it is you're meeting? The taxi stand is not on the hotel property, but all taxis have to be beside the hotel door. So when Sandals guests don't want nothing to eat, they walk out and they walk into a taxi and they got taxis to choose from all day long. That is the local taxi association. You understand? So this neocolonialism thing that Sandals come with, they have to know you have to put up the things for the taxi men. You can't be hugging and grabbing everything. Yes, you're giving stuff to the locals. The reason why I'm using this is, this suggestion is that in Barbados, we've had problems with Sandals and the jet skis. Till this day, we cannot go up on Sandals Beach with jet skis. But what had happened, they had put up a sign telling the guests that riding jet skis, you're on your own risk, is not at Sandals. And we had to go there with 20 jet skis and block the beach and go into the management and let them know you need to take the sign down. Because you're causing a sense of foreboding with the tourists and you're scaring them. Move it, take it down.
Right.
So the thing is, with the Coast Guard, well, we decide, we can't pick up anybody from Sandals Beach. So that is as far as it goes. So that's just a little lesson in everything here and there, guys. So keep the good work up.
All right.
And hey, don't call it Damascus, it's Kingston. Do not call it Damascus. All right, good.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, he said a mouthful, a lot
and a
that
couple things,
we can really delve into. But take the floor if you want to respond to anything.
No, go ahead. You could read the comment that's there. I find it all right, so
morning caller. This will have to be a short call, so keep it as short as possible.
Yeah, I just want to say I love that guy. I love what he had to say. I just wanted to say that. Keep it up like that, my brother, wherever you are. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Dave.
All right, so the comment there.
Well, regarding to the tenant who refused to rent the person because they don't want any Marby or breadfruit people in the place, as quoted this. He said that they assume that that he was trashed when it is that he could have bought the entire house. He also said that the caller that just called is giving half truths. Right. I can't speak with authority to a lot of the things that he said there. But someone else said that they're listening attentively in the diaspora and I'm on point with the landlord Caribbean tenant comment. They said you guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
All right. I feel sometimes there are certain topics that we touch on that we don't have enough time for. This is probably one of those topics, but we are going to have to round up at this time and jump straight into community dateline. All right, Ari. All right. Distracted me. All right. So we are going to jump right into our community dateline at this time. We will pick up this topic another day. All right. So
99.9 WEFM.